And all right, YouTube, what is going on, guys? David Hammond back here with another podcast live edition with the man,
Philip Garcia.
Philip, was that a question? And today, guys, again, like I said, we're doing another podcast. We have 3 cameras this time. If you checked out the first episode we did live, we actually just filmed that yesterday. Definitely check it out. We're going to put that up right here. We're now filming another one, and we said we are going to up their production. And boy, we did. So we have 3 cameras. One on Philip, what's up? One on me, what's up? And the mutual one right there. Philip has the audio beautifully set up. We got Lola, we got our tea, and we have a few more questions that we're going to answer that we did not answer in yesterday's episode because we just go so deep. So I'm going to let Philip take it away. We have about 2 or 3 questions we're going to get to and go deep. With that said, Philip, let them know that first question, and let's and we're not primed, by the way. Like, whatever answer we're going to answer is like we haven't rehearsed this.
Oh, yeah.
What I'm trying to say. So Philip,
nobody
go for
got
it.
time for rehearsing.
Nobody, come on, man. You can feel it's fake, bro.
No time.
Philip, go for it. Ask that question, bro.
Oh yeah, so I got a question, and it was like directed musically, but we can easily shift this.
Yeah.
It was, who do you look up to in? I'm gonna ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you look up to in? Let's say YouTube or video entrepreneurship.
That's a very good question. I really like that question.
Why?
I don't think anyone has ever asked me that question in my entire life.
I think I've probably asked you once or twice.
Wow, that is really good. Yeah, you probably have. Who do I look up to as far as, and I like that you said not just video or YouTube, but just like in life, like even entrepreneurship wise. So to answer my question, very few people, very, very few people. And I don't say that in a negative way or a derogatory way, a condescending way. I just mean there's not too many people that inspire me and I look up to, and I think it's actually the same for most people. I don't think there should be too many people you quote unquote look up to, because in that sense, if you do, you're kind of lost. You're like a lost puppy. You're like a little kid at recess in grade 3 that like looks up to every big kid older than him. You know what I mean? That might be a weird example, but like anyone older than you, wow, they're so cool. That kind of means like you don't know who you are as a person then. Like I feel like there should be, I'm not saying you have to keep it super direct, but there should, like, I'm almost of like the conviction that like the more people that you would look up to or you are inspired by, the less you know of yourself in a sense. And that might sound super like backwards, but the people that I can think of, so we'll break it down. As far as, you know what, Philip, what do you think before I answer, bro? What is your take on that? Not even who inspires you, but like what's your take on the whole inspiration? Didn't we answer this? What was the one we did before in the first episode? We can cut this out.
No,
It was on inspiration though, but it wasn't on who. It's what inspires you.
What inspires?
And where this is who. Okay.
Yeah.
Who inspires you?
Who.
Go. Yeah. So go for it. What do you think?
Sorry, I'm just checking, making sure the levels are good. Okay, yeah, they're good.
Okay.
For me, no, actually, I wanted to bounce off of what you said. I think that's interesting. Like, you're almost saying that like if you have full confidence in yourself, you shouldn't be looking up to someone else in extreme like ways of saying
extremes.
it. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Like I know you don't believe that. It's just like,
you know,
but to an extent.
To an extent, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. Like I think over time that's probably happening with me too. Like less and less like you look up to a certain person because you're almost like looking up to yourself or who you're going to be.
Yes, I like that. Who you're going to be. I think that is the only person that you should be inspired by. I saw that some like Matthew McConaughey, I don't know if that's his name. I think so. He made like a speech on that where he was like, my hero is who I am 10 years from now. So I can't ever beat my hero because he's always one step ahead.
He sounds just like that too.
Yeah, that wasn't me making fun of him, by the way. If you see this, what's up? Hit my DMs. I'm kidding, but yeah, that's cool. I thought that was pretty cool. Regardless if you actually meant it or not, it's pretty cool.
But I actually do have a one person that I look up to, like in particular. Mm-hmm. There's obviously many inspirations in music. Same with me. But like it's Ed Sheeran. He's the reason why I started writing songs in the first place. And what draws me about him, the reason why I'm so inspired by him is because he's incredibly humble, but also incredibly ambitious. And just, I don't know, you don't get that a lot in music. And I think that's why I didn't like music in the first place. Like the idea of being a pop star, because it's so glitz and glamour and kind of fake. But he was just very humble, and like the way he came up, like he worked really hard to get to where he was. And even when he made it, he was super humble again, did a bunch of press, and like he just worked really hard, and his work ethic is uncanny.
It was a breath of fresh air.
His kindness, like, which you don't see, like, yeah, I just
It was just fresh. Like it was so different.
And still to this day, man, like I'm gotta meet that guy one day.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, and to now to do the part 2,
Mm-hmm.
I am inspired by people, and I don't ever want it to to have the conception that I'm not. I definitely am, but I still do believe that like but it's not many. And I think like relating back, like you should be your biggest inspiration. Like who you like, you really, and I think I say that because like you don't need and you should not ever rely, and it's very easy to rely on other people for inspiration, and then that basically demobilizes you, immobilizes, where basically you're screwed. Like you're kind of fucked. Like you can't do anything if you're always relying to be inspired by other people. Then you're at the whim of their will, right? I mean, they can be like, nope, I don't want to inspire you, and you're screwed. Like that's what happens when you put all your faith or your literally your eggs into a basket of other people. Like once someone else is your savior or your hero, when that person changes, which is inevitable, you're fucked. And I've been in that situation where I've looked up to someone very, very who I thought was a hero, and they helped me a lot. But people change, and he changed as he should, and that really hurt me, man, and a lot of other people, because that's like your father figure in a sense, metaphorically, like just like almost abandoning you and being like, peace, I'm someone else now, and you're like, shit. So you have to be very careful with inspiration or who inspires you, because you can't hold that person to that you can't chain them up and be like, you're this person forever. That's horrible.
Yeah. That works for everything. Like when like in relationships and in anything, like when
these are facts we're dropping. Like, this is probably the best. Like I'm dead ass. Like I think these are this is probably the best podcast, one of them you will ever see in your entire life. And I say that from like such a humble standpoint. Like, man, how are we not famous yet, bro? Like these ideas are fucking stupid. Like this will change. Do you know how long these ideas have? Do you know how much suffering these ideas have taken me to gather? How many years? Like,
yeah.
Take it, man. It's okay. It'll come full circle.
No, but I was gonna add to that. Like, I think it's like relying on other people in your life too. Like, I don't want to say things in extremes, but you have to just to make a point. But it's like when you trust and put your weight on or eggs in one basket. Like when you do that with people in your life. If your mother passes away or your father passes away, you're fucked. Like I was talking to my brother about this. Like
facts. That is
I'm
very
like
fucking
I
true.
love my brother dearly and my mother and my father very dearly, and I have a very good relationship with all of them. Like pretty decent now.
Yes.
But I'm also like I've started putting trust in myself, and so that if some shit happens in the world, like I won't be left on this earth kind of like, oh, I'm so lonely. Like I'm not alone anymore because I got me.
Good.
And
good. And
like
I think that's the main point that I was trying to reach. Whether it's tangible, your mom or your dad, or someone who you're inspired by, be inspired by them. Like I'm not saying don't, but be careful. Like be careful. Do not ever. Like they shouldn't be your hero. You should be your own hero, as cheesy as that sounds, because you're the only one who has your back. Do you think they give a shit about you? And I mean, like, this is super, of course your parents. I'm not even talking about parents. That person you look up to in movies or on YouTube, do you think they actually know your name? And I say this in like the most humble of ways. Like the guy I looked up to, he has no fucking clue who I am. Why would he do anything to try to help me? Fuck no, bro. He has no time for that. As people just don't, like, man, like that's just the reality. Like, even your parents and your family, like, I'm not saying they don't love you, but don't ever expect them to save you, because that is a very weak, dangerous standpoint to be in. Like, I bet that your family, your friends do not care about you as much as you think they do. And that may get a lot of slack and shit like that. Like, they love you and you love them.
I think I was going to add, like, I'm not sure if it's care, but I think it's also understanding. Like, that's what I think I've struggled with is, like, I don't know, like early days, like not even now, like I just think about like I want people to understand me, but like no one's ever gonna understand. That's kind of what I'm going towards. Like, like I agree. I can tell.
Like people do love you, man. People do care about you, but it's not like that's good actually. No one's ever gonna understand you to the fact that you'll understand yourself. Like no one, man. It can be your best bet. Like no one, bro. Like Philip and I, he's probably one of the closest people that quote unquote understands me, or vice versa. But even that, like Philip, I would consider at this point in my life, like probably my one of, if not like my closest friends. Like besides Adri being my girlfriend, I'd probably say Philip, as far as he understanding T-pump, bro. Sorry. As far as understanding stuff. But even that, I objectively know, and so does Philip with himself, I don't put all my eggs into his basket to Philip, and vice. As weird as this sounds, like I don't expect Philip to solve my problems. I don't expect. Like, I don't rely on Philip in any sense. Like, I'm my own guy. I trust that. And same with him. But what's beautiful about that and being whole is that when we're together recording stuff like this, it's awesome. It's a cherry on top. We can have fun. Things are great. But, I mean, this is just like common sense with relationships and shit. And I'm not ever saying I'm perfect at this or anyone's ever perfect at this, but it's like, you gotta fix your shit first. You gotta be whole first before you rely on someone else. Whether that's inspiration, friendship, like love, like you gotta be good first, bro. And I think that's why I think the reason Philip and I are objectively good at this, I'm not saying we're fucking the best, but it's because doing your own craft, you're alone a fuckload. And in that alone time, you have to understand, or you begin to cultivate self-love, as cheesy as that sounds. Not even cheesy, like that's just factual. When you're alone, you begin to cultivate or understand, you begin to love yourself, man. And that's gonna sound super weird, but it's because you don't rely on people. It's just like being a crackhead. I just say what comes to mind. And you run crack dry, like you have no more crack. Eventually, you're going to go through some withdrawal, even coffee or cigarettes. If I just take your cigarettes away from you, you're going to go nuts at first, right? Quoting this, you're alone. If I take all your friends away and you're alone, you're going to go nuts at first. You're going to withdraw. You're going to go crazy. But eventually, you calm down. You figure out, I don't need these cigarettes.
You're going to have to adapt.
Exactly.
That's what people do.
That's what I mean. You're going to have to adapt. Yeah. And I think that's what we've both done fairly well. So when you go back, and I'm not saying you go back to smoking cigarettes or something like that, but because you're now whole, you can almost be triggered by cigarettes and it doesn't faze you. Relate that to friends. That might have been kind of weird.
Yeah. Okay. Cigarettes and friends.
Cigarettes,
new podcast
friends, and
coming
good old
soon.
Crack.
Should we?
Before we go to the next one, just to wrap that up, because I think we did a very good job at answering that question.
Where did this start? The people you look up to.
On who inspires you. I didn't even answer who inspires me. I'm not worried about that, dude. It'll run for a bit.
Me, it's Ed Sheeran. But yeah, no, I don't want to add anything else. I feel like
I'll just say who inspires me real quick, and we'll get on.
Go ahead.
Who inspires me real quick, guys? Search them up. As far as filmmaking, videography goes, very, very few people. The reason, guys, if I'm talking a little quick, is that this camera right there may die. It may not, but it may die fairly soon. So
don't die.
Yeah, please don't die. I'm gonna try not to talk too quick, but I don't want to rush this. Like I don't want to rush this. If it dies, it dies. We'll use 2 cameras. Fuck it, okay? Who inspires me as far as filmmaking and videography goes? Search these 2 people up. Zach Kravitz and Tim Kellner. That's it. Those 2 guys. No one in the video field really inspires me because everyone's kind of a copy, rip-off artist of each other. Like everyone copies each other. It is what it is. Teal and Orange, Sam Colder, this, that. It's okay. Everyone's kind of the same. No video really triggers me or stands out. Like when someone shows me video, I know there's a 99% chance it's just going to look like that, which it usually does. And when it doesn't, it's probably shit. No offense. Or if it is like Zach Kravitz or Tim Kellner, which really, to simplify it, it's just very minimal, simple, beautiful, much more rich, moody, dramatic. Like it's not happy foo-foo. Whoa, teal and orange, backflips. Go fast, and you're like just...
There's a kid outside playing with a toy car.
And like that's okay, man, but like search these guys up. This is just personal preference. It's beautiful. Like it's like listening to Beethoven. Like it is, bro, it will take you to another level. And that's what I strive to do, or that's what I've been doing as far as my video goes. Subconsciously, without it, before I even knew them, that's my direction. So when I saw them, I was like, thank you. There are people out there. Like, that's a complete different topic for a different video. Like, I will love those 2 to the day I die, especially Zach Kravitz, because I saw his videos in a very dark time where everyone was doing the Sam Colder thing. And I was one of the only, I didn't see anyone on YouTube that was making videos that I wanted to make. No one. And I was really fucked because I thought I'm either going to have to stop or do what they're doing. Because clearly what I'm doing is wrong if no one's doing it. And then I found Zach Kravitz out of nowhere. On fluke, it was by accident. He only had about like 10,000 subs. Randomly, I came across this stuff, and from that day, I knew I was okay. I knew it was fine. I commented on almost every single one of his photos. I have so much respect, but not even that. Like I owe so much to him, whether him even knowing it or not. So if you're seeing this, I will meet him one day. Like we're gonna be homies. And in the humblest of ways, I'm coming for his neck. Like I will surpass the master. I will come for the king.
Yeah.
In a loving way, but I have so much respect for him because he helped me in that time frame. And then Tim, I found more recently. He's great too. But anyways,
let's move on to the next question.
Let's move on. That's who inspires me.
What's the next question?
The next question.
Yeah, I believe you have it.
Yeah, no, I do have it. I actually remember though because we were It's not that we rehearsed it, but I told Philip what the question was. And it was something to do with, I just want to read it word for word for you guys.
Yeah.
Wrong account. This happens when you have different accounts. My audio sounding good?
Yep.
Sounding beautiful?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay. Bro. Okay, there it is. How does music influence your style? That's what it was. So, Philip, let's go for it. Style, we're just going to style in any way.
Are you gonna say music for you too? Just a quick, or is it like
how does music influence your style?
Okay,
just period in life, fashion, video, everything.
Shit.
But I want you to delve into this because you're a musician. So like I've been talking a lot. You go ham. I hope you're still recording, boy.
Oh, I think it's still recording. How does music influence my style?
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Actually, I want to take this into like a fashion realm. Because as you can see, like, what are you talking about, Philip? You don't have fashion. You wear black every day, and you look the same every day, and that's true.
We're matching.
Minimalist
fashion.
But I've actually given it a lot of thought. So, like, I've gone throughout with trying out many different clothings. I don't really, I'm not crazy about fashion, but I like wearing something that reflects me. And when I think about music, like, I like rock, I like folk, I like rap. Like, I like a wide variety of things. And I wear like Puma suedes, which are like skater sneakers shoes, and they're kind of like hip hop, whereas my jeans are kind of like singer-songwriter, sweater kind of like chill singer-songwriter, but also like rap. I don't know, like I feel like it all bundles up in one, and
I really like that you said that.
And it shows my sound and music and style.
Keep going.
Yeah, and like that in that way, music influenced my style, I guess. But like just me as a person too, from what I've been through. But how does music influence my style in another way? I'm gonna take this maybe a little left field. Like, the type of music I listen to can build my confidence. Like, especially like, I mean, everyone loves rap music. Like, rap music is like that. It can influence your style, the way you walk down the street, like the way you just feel about yourself. Like, rap music is that kind of. I feel like that's what it's made for.
It's very warrior type music.
And also, like, I can take like folk singer-songwriter stuff to be a little more warm and a storyteller and
lover type music.
Like,
King, warrior, magician, lover. 4 archetypes of every man.
Yeah.
Rap
you fly away, David.
Yes, I'm going deep into my psychological realms. Yeah, no, I super agree with Philip. I think to touch back on what you said, what I've noticed myself is how you do anything is how you do everything, right? So how you are in one realm is usually how it carries over. Meaning, and I relate with fitness. What I've noticed, training for almost 7 years now, seriously, how you are in the gym is how you are in life, right? So you can tell, you look at someone in the gym, you know everything about them. The way they lift, how they lift, everything. Are they lifting humbly? Are they lifting to make sure everyone can see and hear? What are they wearing? What are they lifting? Are they lifting weights just to get by? Or are they doing this stuff where, like, you can die? Like, this will say everything of how you are in life. And I'm not going to say what type of lifter I am. That's not the point. But it's like how you dress. And this is why fashion is so important. And I agree and I disagree with what Philip's saying in a good way, where it's, I think you still can.
You're not allowed to do that.
Nope, too late.
No,
I still think you can be extremely fashionable and into fashion, even though you wear, it looks like you don't. Like, we're wearing what, all black?
Well, I was just joking about that because like, I know what it looks like. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
But that's the thing. Fashion to me, and I'm saying it from like an art standpoint, isn't so much like, more isn't better. And just because you have all the chains and everything, does not mean you know or appreciate fashion any more than someone else. Relate it with video. I'm into very minimalistic style video. Someone who uses a lot of transitions and color grades and fancy does not mean they're any more into video or appreciate video more than I do. It's the same thing. It carries over. Same with music. You can have techno crazy, like all the freaking sounds in the world. That doesn't mean you know any more about music than someone who keeps it very simple. So
I would argue that like someone who keeps it simple. No, this is like I'm going with you. I'm not arguing.
That's okay.
I would argue that like someone who keeps it simple, me being a minimalist, I actually appreciate shit more because I use it all the time.
Ooh.
Right? Like,
shout outs to you guys.
Like,
man.
no, I'm actually more of a materialist than I thought I was because I thought it was a bad thing, but it's not. Like, it's just the way you view things. Like I use 3 sweaters all the time, and they mean a lot to me because I use them all the time.
I'm wearing the same clothes I wore yesterday, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
no, you got glasses on. Don't worry about it.
I've opened. I have my glasses, so my outfit's changed, and the location's different. So is it on me? Yeah, it's on me.
And Lola's pretty much.
She is not ready. Yeah, no, that's huge. It's actually funny because I know you're so right. Usually less is more, and that's actually a sign of maturity and coming full circle. And this may trigger some people because. And it's very subjective because, anyways, though, usually in life, I mean, I don't even think I'm going to go down this route. This doesn't matter. This is kind of unrelated. But usually in a lot of circumstances, what I've noticed myself is the more you do something generally, or you should, the better you get at it, usually the less you do of the crap. Like, you just stick to the essentials, right? Kind of where minimal comes into play. Minimalism. Anyways, that's another topic for a different day. Now, Philip,
just get back to the music. How does music affect your style?
There you go. So how does music affect my style? I actually get inspired. Going back to the other one, music inspires the fuck out of me for my video. People say, what inspires you? Music. For my video, if I just listen to music, it inspires everything in my mind. I don't need someone to inspire me. I listen to a good song, deep music. There's something called Artlist, which, anyways, you listen to good music, all my video ideas come to play. Naturally. I don't need to watch a movie or a TV show, and I don't think you guys do either. You have all the ideas inside of you, you just kind of need something to and that actually might be a movie for you, but to me, music. I'm ranting.
Next question.
Next question.
David's got all the questions.
No, I actually really don't.
David's got all the fans.
No, I really don't yet. All right, man, give me 1 sec. Okay, well, we kind of answered that. Oh, I kind of like that. Is it good to have a plan when you go out and shoot, or is it better to go out and wing it? You can kind of relate that to, like, music, video, like gigs, like songs.
Yeah, okay.
So there's that. There's one. I'm going to read a few more, though. This is from the same guy, so I'm not that popular. How can someone new land a gig? We kind of already talked about that in the other video.
No, let's talk about that one. Let's talk about the
money one or the first one?
The first one, I
might have another one, though.
Preparation for a gig.
Let me check on my fans because I'm so popular, okay?
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
This camera hasn't died, by the way, guys. Like, it scared us a few times, but... All right, and another question. No, we already answered that.
You went ham with the questions. Holy shit.
No. Let's see that one, then. The one I said. What was it?
It was,
Is it good to have a plan to go out and shoot, or is it better to wing it? Is it good to have a plan to go out and shoot music, videos, or do you just wing it? I really like this idea of spontaneity versus planned. We can go deep into this. And this will be our last question because I think that camera's going to die soon. But run it, Philip.
Yeah, I'm going to go quick.
No, don't go quick, though, because...
I'm going to go really quick.
But it's also, like, the podcast has been pretty long.
Yeah. I think for music, I'm going to relate it to gigs or even writing a song. Like, let's go with gigs. With gigs, you need to have a plan. Obviously, you need to have a set list. You need to have shit planned in order to do a show. That's kind of like obvious. You can't just wing that like when you don't have any songs to sing.
Hey, guys.
Like, yeah, it's like, so I didn't plan anything.
Can I dance instead?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like there is things like conversation pieces that people use to engage the crowd that you have prepared, or you said before many times. There's stuff like that I'm like, I'm a fan of that, but at the same time, use it when you like, if you don't have anything in the moment, use that. It's good. Like you're trying to engage the audience, but I think it's like everything, man. It's like a little bit of yin and a little bit of yang. Like have shit prepared just in case, like a little bit, but not a lot, because you want to wing it because you're going to go off by the vibes of like the people in the crowd. Like there's so many times that I've played a show that like,
and let them know, like emphasize that, like you play gigs and shows in front of people. Like I know your audience knows it. Tell my audience, like
I've played shows and gigs. No, like I've done quite a bit, man. Quite a bit. So like I feel like I've got a pretty good handle on that of like, of how much preparation, like have the preparation, like have that joke in the back, but it's so much better when you like just vibe with the audience, just be present. Like there's like when I'm setting up, I'm talking to the show, the crowds already. Like I'm feeling it out already, and I talk to people, talk to the bar, and then you can say things, and that's part of the winging it. But yeah, and that's part of like as you get better, the less prepared you need to be in a way.
Yeah.
Right.
Comes back to the whole minimal thing.
Yeah, because like you gotten so good that you're like, I just got a guitar and I can like impress these people.
It's almost you trust yourself more. I think that's what it is.
Which I wouldn't say I'm there yet. Like I'm not there yet completely.
No.
I don't think anyone ever will be there. But
but it's a progressive thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Go David.
Go David. Go. Okay. Yeah. No, I really like that with Philip. So the shoot I just did, commercial shoot a few days back now. Or shoots in general. It doesn't even have to be commercial shoot. It can be as simple as like this podcast, any video, YouTube video. But I'm going to relate it to commercial shoots because we're talking about gigs and stuff like that, because there are more high pressure. It is a beautiful balance. On one end, I am so pre-planned and premeditated where it's like, we need to know what the story is. What's the flow? What's the story? If I'm shooting a mini doc or even, again, the commercial I just shot, we need to know to an extent, what are the locations? Where are we shooting? How long are we planning for each location? And what's the story? Like, what's the vision? And I advocate this. Pre-production is everything. Do you know how long it took us to set up what you're looking at right now? This took us probably about half an hour to just get audio, visuals. Like, it's very redundant and tedious to set this stuff up. But
setup is everything.
And don't even just relate that to like gear. Relate that to your gig, like pre-production, ideas, what you're doing. There's so much that has to go into that, but there is a certain point where it's a cutoff point where and I literally just said to Philip when I pressed record, you're never going to know 100% if something may go wrong, if the lighting changes. And like sometimes you just, at a certain point, you have to say, fuck it and just run with it and trust that it's going to be okay. It's the same thing with gigs. Once you've planned enough, you just have to run with it, bro. You're not going to know everything and you adapt as you go. Perfect example. I don't think I said this to you guys yet in a video. When I shot the commercial gig, there were 3 shoot locations. The first one was to catch golden hour sunset at the Bluffs. We did that. There was no sun. Complete bail. But do you think we were planning for it to bail? No. The clouds that day completely masked the sun. We were too late to the location. She kind of came a little late. Sorry. But it wasn't really her fault because even if we did get there early, it just wasn't good. So we had to reshoot it completely. Sunrise a few days later. It was beautiful, but I didn't know that. Like, I can't pre-plan that. I can't just tell the clouds to just dissipate a little bit. Like, that's where all the spontaneity and adapting comes from, right? When I shot at the second location, which was on the track, we thought it was going to be empty because it was a weekend, right? So there's no kids for like school. There was a massive track team there the entire time with like 40, 50 people running sprints on the track. That is probably one of the worst situations you can probably have. Like, we need the track and there's kids sprinting. Like, these are high school, college kids sprinting.
I've seen the video, but you use that to your advantage almost in a way.
To an extent, but then also it's like you couldn't even tell that there were like 50 people there because we had to be very careful with it. But you are right, to an extent, like...
Man, wait, can I cut in? Like, I
played
a show where there was... Man, this was kind of crazy. Like, this was not that long ago. It was a month ago. I was playing a show. This guy was kind of like bothering the bar staff, and he was clearly didn't have a lot of money and a lot of class. And he was getting loud and rowdy, and then the security came and told him to leave, and then he got all fists up in the air, and they were like fighting right in front of the stage when I was playing mid-show, and I was kind of just like, holy fuck. And then I was kind of just like, I kept playing, because like if I stopped, it'd be worse. You're causing attention to that area. But point being was I used that whole thing and I made a joke out of it after the fact, after he left, and it was kind of like the tension kind of subsided, and I used that energy right there, that random thing that happened for my advantage, when it could have been perceived as like, oh fuck, now these people are like not feeling good. And
very
like,
true. Very
so like,
good.
I mean, it's different when a commercial shoot, like when things have to go a certain way.
No, but that's actually the that same thing as he said. So with the commercial shoot, the second spot, it did end up working out. We moved with it. We adapted. And things were okay. And then in the third spot too, I kind of want to finish that off too, because there were 3 locations. The third spot, it was actually, it was completely spontaneous. Like, we had the littlest plan because I've never been to the third spot. Sorry. We didn't know how the girl actors, or the 6 little girls, we didn't know how they would be. It was actually completely spontaneous, but it worked out beautifully. So I almost want to say I lean more towards the spontaneity side, because like that's just how I am as a videographer. That may not sound amazing, but like I just don't like to plan too much stuff, because the nature with video, especially with my video, is it's very, you guys notice like my style of video is Like if I'm doing vlogs, the nature of vlog is it's pure adaptation. Forest talks. The only type of video I do that's premeditated are like my tutorials. That's it. Everything is just, I'm just a very spontaneous, like I don't plan too much shit. Sometimes has its downsides. So to wrap it up, it works. There's a lot of spontaneity, not planning. It's so like irresponsible to say like, just go off spontaneity. But like, you know, for me, I'm going to say it's about like a 60-40. Yeah, 60-40. 60% spontaneity, 40% plan. Get your plan and then roll with it. It may be even 70-30. I'm sorry. Plan what you need to, but run with the rest. And if you fuck up, pretend like you knew it. Like pretend like you're like, oh, you know, like play it off cool, like what Philip was saying. Yeah. If you screw up, pretend
you don't want the client to be concerned.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the thing. You don't
want the crowd to be concerned about what you're doing.
Exactly. You don't want the client or the crowd. Like if you fuck up, you want to pretend like you meant to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Or run with it and go like, that was a joke.
Which probably isn't great advice, but like that's the reality. That's just what I do. And I think what Philip and I both do. So that's that. We're going to finish it off there. We are now going to do an outro. I'm going to bring the cameras a little closer to us to bring just kind of like, you know, finish it up, give it a little salt at the end, and we'll finish that. So let's get this outro going. And all right, guys, this is the end. This is the outro. We got that camera angle nice and high, just mix it up a little bit. We're going to finish it off there. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Philip, do you have any like last words to say?
No. Anyone who... Actually, I do. Yeah. I said no, and then I do. I do. Anyone who said ask any questions or sent anything in, we do appreciate that. We will do more, so it'd be sick to have more questions. And go like super into depth and certain like specific. It's fun too.
Exactly, yeah. So whether... you know, of course, like I'm not going to be doing every podcast with Philip and vice versa. Like, and it's going to be, sorry, dude, you know, different locations and stuff. Yeah. But regardless, guys, what I do plan for, at least this being on my channel, every time I interview or have a podcast with someone else, I'm going to record it. So have it visual, where if it's just a solo episode, it'll just be audio. So I think that's where I'm going to put the difference. With that said, this was a dope podcast. Definitely be sure to check out the one before and this one. Well, I mean, I'm sure you have if you're this far. So that's it. Thanks, guys, so much. Be sure to give it a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out Philip's channel. I'm going to link that right after here. And, yeah, you'll probably see more. So thank you again. Much love. Peace.
Peace. Fire. Let me say, go check out David's YouTube channel. I'll link everything on Instagram and all that stuff. Go give him some love. Thanks for watching.
Peace.